This is a short video showing how to solder SMD components. These components are very small, so a tweezers is essential for manipulating them. Start by adding a small amount of flux paste to the pads on the PCB. Flux paste is highly recommended as it will make soldering these components much easier. If you don't have flux paste, you can still solder the components, provided your solder wire includes a rosin core. Melt the flux paste with your soldering iron and spread it over the pads. Next, melt a small amount of solder and spread it over the pads using a sweeping motion with your soldering iron tip. Notice how the flux causes the molten solder to pool precisely on the metallic pads. If you're working without flux, just apply the solder to the pads individually, without the sweeping motion. Use only a very small amount of solder, as shown here. After applying the solder to the pads, use your tweezers to position your component over the connections. Get just one connection perfectly aligned first, then remelt the solder to hold the component in place. When you're happy that the component is perfectly aligned, you can proceed to melt the solder to secure the remaining connections. Use your tweezers to hold the component in place as you solder each of the remaining connections. Be sure to avoid creating short circuits, especially between the closely spaced pins of SMD microchips, such as the one being worked on in this video. The process is the same for other SMD components, such as this SMD resistor being demonstrated. Simply apply a small amount of flux paste to the pads, followed by a tiny amount of solder. Then, position the component precisely over the pads with your tweezers, and remelt the solder to connect one side before moving on to the other side. The components tend to be very small, often only 1 to 2 mm in length. This can make them quite tricky. Take your time to make sure you connect the component correctly on both sides. Wishing you success in all your electronics projects, from the Science Hut.